Oh my gods. Episode 50. Oh my. Welcome, welcome everybody. It's Evening Hour Live. Let's do this. Come on in, people. Happy Friday. Come on in. Wow. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Let me hit the vinyl. No. What the heck? There we go. You like how archaic my show is? Button hitting, vinyl. What's up, people? Evening Hour Live. I'm Cardone. Come on in. Welcome, welcome. Grab a drink. I got a lot to talk about tonight. We got Talon, Ashworth, Sean, Helen, William Nemeth, and my mama in the chat right now. I know there's going to be a lot more of you in the chat. Come on in. I know, 50 episodes of just this show. Crazy. I'm drinking tea and fake beer. My favorite one. I don't work for these guys. All Out Athletic Brew. Dude, this stuff's insane. Look at this. I'm going to pour some now. I prefer it a little warm. But look how dark this is. No joke. Oh, wait. I just put too much beer head on it. But look how black that is. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. Wow. I got a lot to chat about. Thank you, Ashworth. Happy Friday to you, too. Let's turn this down. We got him coming in. Come on in, folks. Let me just click this off here. Yeah, okay. I'm just checking to make sure. All right, we're good. Let me know if the sound is cool. It so far seems like everything's operating according to plan. If this channel ever goes down, give it a minute. Give it like 5 minutes. I'll reboot everything. And then if it doesn't work, Instagram, Cardone Magic. I'll pick it up there. What else? I saw Godzilla versus Kong. I'm going to talk about it. Yeah. Oh, and I'm going to give a prize away. So, Helen, you're in the room right now. Your prize is on the you're on the way. Peter Benedetti's stuff's on the way, and I'm going to give away a new one tonight. You have to be in the chat now and at the end. The first thing I'm going to be giving away is this poster by Stuart Palm. I don't have many of these left. It's an original artwork by Stuart Palm. It's my first magic poster I ever did. I actually talk about this poster in my lecture of what it did for me to have one. You know, as a young magician in New York, I thought I needed a piece of swag that was better than some of the pro dudes. And it worked. I have a story about it. The other thing I have, where is it? Oh, here. Oh, here it is. I don't know if you can see that. There, I'll make it visible. There you go. That is an official Cardone coin designed by Stuart Palm. So whoever wins tonight, you're going to get the coin and a cool poster. So here's what I need. First of all, if you're new to the channel, hit that stupid subscribe button and notify. And like the video, because I'm trying to get to 1,000. I'm 15 away from 700. We're getting there. The other thing is, I need you right now to write in the chat you're going to write the number 616, which is in the Revelation, the other way to write 666. Both of them spell Nero. 666 spells Neron, Caesar, and 616 spells Nero, Caesar. So there you go. Write 616 in the chat. Right in the chat. And you are in. There we go. Pepe, you're in the mix. Pepe Sylvia. Sean Rudd, come on in. Yeah, write them in there. And if you write that 616 in there, you're in the contest. You just got to be here at the end. Here we go. Bam, 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 bam. Here they go. I love it. Cheers. I'm going to start a drinking game every time Cardone yawns. Or a marijuana game. Marijuana is legal in New York. They actually said you can smoke it in public, too. It's wild. If you told me that, I would never have believed that when I was a kid. That they were going to literally just legalize it. Recreational. Great for back pain. What's up, man? We got Fallon's in the house now. Come on in. You guys are going to love the subject. Tonight's subject is one of my favorite things. Before I get there, I want to do a little quick Godzilla Kong because, my God, it literally is a holiday for me. A new Godzilla movie. It's a big deal. I saw it. I loved it. I can't wait to watch it again. I'm going to watch it again on Sunday. Is it perfect? No, but it's close. My two main gripes. 3. And then the rest, I'll just give it praise. Number 1, they do show a whole heck of a lot in the trailers. They should have not shown so much in the trailer. Number 2, I knew kind of what the surprises were in the movie. I wish there was some more that I didn't know about. But that's fine. I'm a nerd and I kept up on it. So, but that's not a complaint. The other thing that's not a complaint, but I noticed, is we are getting used to watching 10-episode TV shows that slowly unfold. And you really get good character development and plot development in these 10-episode things. And look, the new Justice League is 4 hours long, and I hear it's good. So this is a 2-hour movie, and, there'll be a line that covers a lot of plot. They'll have one line that just kind of sums it all up. Now, I don't necessarily like that, but it has to be. It's a 2-hour movie. They're telling this epic sweeping tale in 2 hours. Not easy. But a good friend of mine who's in here a lot, Rick Sherman, I don't know if you're in here tonight, he pointed out that in The Godfather, it's only 2 hours long, and in one shot, there's a whole story. But then, that's The Godfather. We're comparing Godzilla to The Godfather, and that's fine. You can do that. You're going to love it. Who said they're watching it? Corey, you're going to watch it after this? You're going to love it. I will say one thing they nailed, they made Godzilla scary. He actually scared me. There's a couple parts where you're like, whoa, he's terrifying. The sci-fi element, there's a science fiction element to this. There's this Hollow Earth thing they keep talking about. It's great. It reminded me of the old Godzilla movies. They're zany. They've got mythology. They've got Gaia life force. They've got spaceships, aliens, robots. I mean, right? Well, that's what the new stuff's turning into, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't need to be real. It doesn't need to be, yeah. Right, Fallon. Did you see it, Fallon? I'm guessing you've seen it. It's a big movie, and Kong is adorable. They really make him kind of lovable, which I like. Yeah, it's scary. Yeah, it's a great aqua combat. I mean, dude, I don't want to keep going. If you haven't seen it, watch it. It's colorful. It's the fight choreography is you can follow it. There are moves and things that happen, The monsters act. Yes, they act. They communicate. That's rare. You would see it in the old movies. Godzilla would communicate. He would talk. In one of them, he talks. Yes, Godzilla speaks in one of the Godzilla movies. Okay. I am going to jump into. Oh, yeah, everybody, if you're in here, there's more people jumping in. 616 is the magic number to write in the chat to enter the contest to win the poster. Put 616 in and you're in the contest right now. I'll mention it again at the end, but you know, you guys know how this works. I'm going to give away a prize every week. I think it's fun. Why not? And you know, I love the interactive part of the show. And tonight, the subject is big and sweeping. I am not an expert. I am a student learning. I do have some opinions on it, which I will share at the end. Stuff that I didn't find talked about as much. So, yeah, let's start. Folks, tonight's episode, I'm going to show the pic. Yazidi and the Peacock Devil. And we are going to be having a chat tonight about a religion that most people never even heard about. And it's called Yazidi. And let's get into it. It's a religion that's very small. It's a very minority of a religious group. And they have a crazy history, folks. And I think you're going to be fascinated by this, as I am. Let me have a sip of this dark beer now. I don't like it when it's cold. Yeah, perfect. Okay, folks. Well, what the heck is Yazidi? Y-A-Z-I-D-I. Well, it is, and I'm going to try to do this from memory, it's a monotheistic religion that goes back a long time ago, okay? Maybe Mesopotamia, okay? That long ago. It shares a lot of characteristics with lots of little things, which we're going to go into the details of. But their religion is... Okay, here we go. Where are my glasses? Okay, here we go. So Yazidi is mostly concentrated in the northern Iraq area, and their religion got, throughout the years, heavily persecuted. I mean, I think they say that they have like over 70 different genocides in their religion. Okay? That a lot. There's and one most recently. So how did I discover this Yazidi movement? Well, it's very interesting. I first discovered Yazidi from reading the works of Anton LaVey. He mentioned Yazidi and their god, Melek Taus, in the Satanic Bible and in the Satanic Rituals. And I always was like, oh, wow, what is that? So what LaVey did, when he wrote the Satanic Bible, he was like, okay, first of all, the character of Satan, let's say, or Shaitan in Islam, in monotheistic religion, where there's only one God, right? Well, if you think about it, the character of Satan took on all the negative attributes from a lot of gods. So, for instance, lust, destroying things, all like the darker energy type things got placed on another character. Satan, the adversary. And the gods from other religions were looked upon from monotheistic principles as not good. For instance, the ancient Jews had Baal, which was another god, and they were like, Baal's evil. Or, you know, Kali is evil. You know, she kills people. But in reality, these are real gods that people respected for having positive and negative attributes, right? So LaVey put, oh, we're going to talk all about this tonight, Ashworth. Yeah, I haven't read that, but I know what it is, and we're going to discuss it. So LaVey decided to include some of these gods as the pantheon of demons because they really are who makes up the characters of Satan. They took, if you're only going to have one good supreme deity, what do you do with all the dark negative attributes? You need a scapegoat. Like most dumb people, you need a scapegoat. You have to put it somewhere. So throughout the years, they got persecuted. and I'm going to explain why in detail, because there's some definite reasons why they got targeted. This is where it gets really interesting. It's an oral tradition. They don't have any holy books or holy things, really. And what they do have that's tradition isn't exact for every group of Yazidi. Their beliefs aren't all exact. It's really all over the place, which is why it's so fun to talk about. And we're going to get into it right now in super detail. So that's how I discovered Yazidi. Through the works of Anton LaVey. Most people know about Yazidi because of after the U.S. went into Iraq and destabilized the region, Saddam Hussein to me was really interesting. He's almost like he outscared a lot of the scaries. He was like an evil mastermind of sorts that kind of stabilized the area, because you have all these different tribes and they weren't getting along, and you have Scary Man #1 show up, and he kind of, so as soon as he was gone, there were flare-ups, right? And so the Yazidis were in the north of Iraq when ISIS started getting some ground, and the other little terrorist groups, they targeted oh wow, this is great, William. You've met people that know about. Okay, so they got targeted by the extremists, which is how people know about Yazidi recently. Is the news media started mentioning the persecution of the Yazidis. The women were enslaved to be sex slaves. So that's how people know of them today. Okay. Now they're considered to be a syncretic religion. And what that means is throughout the years, because, dude, they go back a long time, okay? They predate Judaism, okay? Syncretic meaning they picked up a lot of things along the way from their neighbors. And they are considered to be heavily syncretic. Now, to me, that's weird because a lot of people will say that, like, Christianity is not syncretic because they're coming from a Judeo-Christian mindset that it's real. See, this is why you can't have theistic people debating and talking about this stuff, because it gets hard to talk about. Most Christians don't realize that their mythology is taken from other places. Just like Islam, and the funniest one, we have Passover coming up. Jewish people like to think of themselves as the flag bearer of monotheism. And from where I'm coming from, that's just not true. There are other monotheistic religions that predate them. And I don't know if you know what Yaoism is. The ancient Jews were polytheistic. They had many gods. 3 main ones, but yeah. So, hold on here. Let me drink this. So, I think all religions are syncretic. They all borrow from their neighbors and take and some of it is because it's just there and it organically blends in. Now, here, this is great. Here's a definition of syncretism. A creative, synthetic process by which any ideas, symbol, or idiom is appropriated and embraced in a culture or a religion. We're living in a world now where cultural appropriation is considered this dark thing that you can't do. You can't wear the clothing of another culture. You can't wear a hairstyle of another culture. And to me, everything is taken from somewhere else. I'm of the belief that everything comes from something. So I don't care what culture you're from or how ancient, it came from something before. And to me, by culturally appropriating, it's how you learn about a culture, you know? Is it going to get to where we can't even eat Chinese food unless you're Chinese? You know, it seems like it's getting really extreme. I saw somebody recently writing about the cultural appropriation of religious movements. Or like, you know, you can't be a yoga practitioner unless you're actually from India and a Hindu. That kind of mentality to me is crazy, because how do you learn anything, right? So the religion of Yazidi, yeah, it did. It picked up stuff from the neighbors. Of course it did, just like everything else. So I'm going to talk first about their beliefs, and what they actually believe, because you're going to be quite fascinated by some of this stuff, and I think you're going to see why they got picked on. Anybody that has a conflicting belief that shows up to a monotheistic party is going to have a problem. This is my problem with monotheism. It's a form of fascism. How do you have two different truths? You don't. I had a debate once with a religious girl in Washington Square Park. I don't do this much anymore, but we just started going at a really good debate. And she looked me in the eye and said, how can there be more than one truth? And I was like, you're right. In your pantheon of belief, there can only be one truth, which is why there's a problem with monotheism. So, okay, the Yazidis, I'm going to give an overview of their beliefs on a very basic level, because these aren't all true. It depends who you talk to and what group, because they're all different. Why? Because they don't have, it's an oral tradition. These stories are passed down through song and storytelling. So they believed that there is a supreme God, and that God ain't nowhere to be seen. He's off somewhere else, okay? And that supreme God created everything. Oh, wow, Fallon. I can't wait to read these comments. Okay. Folks, if you're new to this channel, read the comments, because people are smart. I have smart people in here. So, the God from far away created everything, and there are lesser gods that were created. Angels. And there are 7 of them. And out of the 7, he made one of those angels the boss. And not only is he the boss, he's the boss of the earth. And his name is Melek Taus. And Melek Taus, I'm going to show you a picture, is represented as a peacock. That is that's his symbol. That's who he is. I'm going to show you a modern depiction of him. Boop, look at that. Love it. So this guy, Melek Taus, this angel, is appointed to be the boss of Earth. And, well, when God made Earth and Adam was down there in paradise, take a guess who talked him out of leaving the garden and eating the grain, the forbidden grain in their story. It's not the apple, it's grain. Take a guess. Melek Taus. He said, dude, you got to get out of here. You're not going to get anything done just hanging out here all day. So he's the guy that talked him to leave the Garden of Eden. Sound familiar? Sound like the snake? Sound like the devil? Okay. They believe in reincarnation, but they also believe in heaven and hell, which is weird. Okay, now here's where it gets interesting. So, throughout the years, these stories about, I'm going to read you also here. I'm going to read. So there's some books on this stuff, and there's a book called The Black Book of the Yezidis. It's like one of their holy books. But what's funny is they technically don't have any holy books. And this book was written, the majority of it, about 100 years ago, and it's considered to be a forgery of sorts. And it's because it was written by a non-Yazidi, okay? And it was basically a guy going like, all right, they don't have any holy books. I'm just going to write down what I know. So it's considered to be accurate. Yes, Adam was tempted first, not Eve. Correct. And Adam, God took a part of Adam to make the Yezidis. They're different than normal people, which is another thing I'm going to mention later. So this black book actually has their real stuff. It's just considered a forgery of sorts because it's not a holy book that they had. Someone made it. So listen to this. This is one of their poems or songs. Okay? And we're going to talk about the people that do these songs. This is the hymn to Melek Taus. O my Lord, you are angel ruler of the world. O my Lord, you are the generous angel ruler. You are the angel of the heavenly firmament. O my Lord, you are forever primordial. You are taste and happiness and prudence. O my Lord, you are eternal God. You are always awake, and you are forever worthy of honor and laudation. O my Lord, you are the angel of people and genies. O my Lord, you are the angel of heaven and throne. O my Lord, you are the angel of bull and fish. O my Lord, you are the angel of the world of sanctity. O my Lord, you are the master of firmament. O my Lord, you are the Lord of the moon and the sun. O my Lord, you are the creator, we the creatures, you are the desired, we are the desire. Pretty different in tonality, right? Now, right away, I noticed Gnosticism tendencies here. The Gnostics, for those of you that don't know, were a different version of Christianity that kind of got scrubbed away. They had a very different look of how the earth operated and who the god of the earth was. Mind you, these are Christians. So in Gnosticism, there's, again, an outside god that is nowhere to be seen. He created different gods to rule different things. And the god of the earth is Yaldabaoth, or also called Saklas, the fool. So in Gnosticism, the god of the earth is a dummy. And Jesus is like, yo, the god of the earth, he sucks. My God is the one above him. That's Gnosticism. It's way different than the Christianity we know. And yes, it really was around at the time. Gnosticism wasn't a thing. It wasn't like, are you a Gnostic? Yeah, I'm a Gnostic. It wasn't like that. Gnostic meaning knowledge. You had to have secret knowledge to be in. This also is a little like that. The Yazidis aren't about belief. They're about knowledge. Okay? We're going to go into that. So here's where it gets weird, and this is where the syncretic nature of it comes into play. Ever hear of Sheikh Adi? His real name is Sheikh Adi ibn Musafir. For tonight, I'm just going to call him Sheikh Adi. He was a Sufi mystic in the 12th century. And for anybody that doesn't know, Sufism is a type of Islam that's definitely got a different vibe. It is more mystical, it's more magical, and they do have different beliefs. Sufi mystic Sheikh Adi, one of his beliefs, which it wasn't his, it was taught by him by his teacher, is that, I want to read this. He had a belief that was taught to him by his teacher. Where the hell did I write that down? Oh, I know where it is. It's in my phone. Wait till you hear this. And you tell me if this isn't radical and different. Here it is. Like his Sunni... I'm reading off a wiki now. His Sunni Muslim teacher was Ahmad Ghazali, and he learned this from him. He defended Iblis. Now, does anybody know what Iblis is? Iblis is like the devil in Islam. He's like the tempter, right? So they defended Iblis as they regarded him as the paragon of lovers and self-sacrifice for refusing to bow down to Adam out of pure devotion to God. Sheikh Adi was among the Sunni Muslim mystics who defended Iblis, asserting that evil was also God's creation. And Sheikh Adi argued that if evil existed without the will of God, then God would be powerless. And a powerless, he can't be God. So this is, in philosophy, the problem of evil. The problem of evil is, if God is all-powerful and evil exists, then that means God's also evil. And if evil exists and he can't control it, that means God's not all-powerful and he's not the boss God. If you study the Holy Bible, or the Bible. I don't like putting the word holy in front of it. Or it should be called a Bible, because it's just one of many. Bible meaning book. In the Old Testament, the devil is a different character than in the New Testament. Clear as day. In the Old Testament, he clearly works for God. And his name, Satan, is not Satan. It's not like, hey, Bill, Satan. It's Ha-Satan, the accuser, the opposer. In the New Testament, he's Jesus' enemy. Clear as day. He's like, I'm here and you're here and I don't like you, right? In the Old Testament, it's not like that. It's more like this, where the Yazidis and this Sufi mystic realized that, yeah, if there's evil, it's not evil. We're interpreting it wrong because God is the boss and there is no evil. There is no devil. There's no evil. Just saying that is heretical. Just saying that, those words to a lot of people. If you said that to a modern Muslim guy, they might be like, whoa, that's weird, right? So the Yazidis saw this guy, Sheikh Adi, as an avatar of Melik Taus. They looked at him like kind of like a prophet of sorts. And his teachings got mixed into Yazidism, which I find to be kind of neat. I would put that in their belief system. Medieval Sufism. So I'm seeing remnants of Gnosticism, early monotheism like Zoroastrianism. Anybody know about the Zoroastrians? Another ancient monotheistic religion, maybe one of the first. Freddie Mercury is a Zoroastrian. And when he passed away, they gave him a Zoroastrian funeral. He is Persian of sorts. He's a Persian guy, Freddie Mercury. I always thought he looked not Englishy, like a white guy. He looked more like Mediterranean or something when I was a kid. And I was right. He was Persian, actually. So I'm seeing Yazidi has elements to all of these things, and a very different creation story than the Christian one and all the others. And whenever you're different amongst the monotheists, guess what? You're a devil. So, yeah. All right, now let's keep moving here. Oh, yeah. Let's keep moving. So let's talk about now, let's get away from their beliefs a bit, because their beliefs are all over the place, quite frankly. They had, why the peacock? Forgot to mention this. Well, traditionally, okay, so the story of Melik Taus also shares some similarities with someone falling out of grace from God. They're separate from God. And they're proud, loud and proud. Does that sound familiar? Sounds a lot like Lucifer. It sounds a lot like the Lucifer story of him falling from heaven. The other thing about Yazidism that's crazy, you ready for this? Another word that they use to describe their God, shaitan. They called him shaitan. Satan. They called him Satan. So if you're like, hey, we don't worship Satan, even though he's named Satan, to the outsider, it doesn't make sense. And they're like, hey, that's weird. Now, the word demon comes from, the root word is God, right? It's like an angel, spirit, daemon. Devil is diaboli, or diabolus, and that means accuser, like Satan. So they called him like he was in opposite opinion. You know, he had a different idea. Different is bad in monotheism. Okay, so let's talk about their actual behaviors of what they do and how they are. And you're going to see some more. Oh, yeah, what is Freddie Mercury's real name? I forget. Yeah, let's look that up. He has a cool name. So here's their taboos. This is what they don't do and how they live. And so they don't, you can't become a Yazidi. So if you're sitting at home and you're like, God, I think I'm going to take up this religion. Oh, there it is. Farouk Bulsara. The immortal Freddie Mercury, born in Zanzibar. What a great soul that guy was. Woo! Farouk Bulsara. What a cool name. Freddie Mercury's a killer rock and roll name, but Cool. So you can't become a Yazidi. You got to be born. Um, some don't eat pork. Some do. Right. Why don't Muslims and Jews eat pork? I've seen a lot on this one. Christopher Hitchens actually wrote about it, and he said it wasn't because they were woke to the diet thing. I mean, that's what I was told. I was told by a Jewish guy, hey, Jewish people were smart and knew that pork's bad for you. That's not what it was. That's not that can be. There were groups of people right there that were also eating it. It doesn't make sense. What it was, what I believe, from what I've read, is the reason why those regions didn't like pork is pork are hard to farm in that arid region. They are not a desert animal. They need mud and cool, and they're hard to move around. They're not good for nomadic people. They need to stay put. Just like having a pet pig. Anybody ever pet pig? They're really smart, but they're so fat and heavy, even the little ones, and their legs are so like not nimble that they're not good at going up steps. And they also need mud. It keeps them cool. That's how they cool off. So some of them didn't eat pork. Some do. They face the sun for prayer. There's a lot of references to sun worship in their stuff. All of their hymns are oral tradition. And they have these guys called Qawwals. And the Qawwals are kind of like their priests, but they're musical. They tell the stories through song, and they have a flute and a tambourine, and they sing songs. And you're not allowed to do certain rituals unless the Qawwal shows up. Like, he has to do it. Now, since the 70s, they started publishing this stuff. You can find it written down. So it's kind of new. But in the old days, Scrapple haters, I love it. Come on in, people. We got lots of new people in here tonight. Hit the subscribe and notify. Help me get to 1,000. They called their hymns living memory. That reminds me of how the Freemasons go about their business. Nothing's written down in Freemasonry. You have to sit there and learn it from another guy. And that's how this is. The Qawwals teach the new guys in the stories, and they memorize them. So their holy shrine, they do have a holy shrine. Oh, hey, Donovan, what's up? It's in the Valley of Lalish, and they believe that the Holy Seven Angels landed there. They also believe that's where Adam was born. And it's also where they buried Sheikh Adi. It's where his tomb is. I don't know if he's actually in there, but they have a tomb for him there. So they do have a holy shrine. They have a place that they kind of pilgrimage, or supposed to pilgrimage to at some point. They have a few holidays. Feast of the Assembly. It's 7 days in October, and they have it in Lalish. Pilgrimage to there was considered mandatory, but I don't think so anymore. They're displaced now because of the problems in the Middle East and the fact that the Wahhabis, who are the super extreme guys that, they're the ones that behead people for leaving the faith, they've displaced. So the Yazidis, I looked it up. We only have about 10,000 in the USA. That is not many people. I think Canada had like less than 2,000. That is not many people. Very small groups, mostly probably Kurdish people or people that fled persecution. They also have this thing called the Parade of the Peacock, and I saw a video of it. They have this holy relic that represents certain little groups in the Yazidi, and it looks like a brass candelabra and a little peacock guy that goes on the top. It's about this big. The peacock's about this big. The candelabra's like this big. And there's a little dish. It's like a 3-part little gadget. And I'm going to put my phone on snooze. And basically they parade it around and set it up in a room in the village. And people come see it and they kiss it for good luck. You put a little money in the basket and you kiss it for like good luck. And yeah, Canada doesn't have many Yazidis. And they do this, they make it very clear they don't worship it, this idol. It's a representative of Melik Taus, and they're paying respect. And this parade of the peacock, I don't think they do it so often because it makes them targets for ISIS. I'm trying to think of other things they do. It seems to me that the way they treat their women is a little better than some of the other Islamic groups. They have a little bit more... So, they are one of the groups, like I would say Judaism, that's tied to an ethnic group or a tribe, and you can't really just become one. Because if you become Jewish, they put you through the ringer. And from what I hear from some of my more religious Jewish friends, the converts, they don't really look upon as being full-on Jewish. Sounds weird, but it's what it is. These guys are full-on. If you ain't born into a Yazidi family, you're not Yazidi. That's it. And I always thought, and this is my own opinion, that sets up for some weird stuff. It seems like a lot of these tribalistic religions grew out of the ancient time where the tribes didn't mix. They didn't have to. You could be over there and I could be over here, and you can have your own ideas and mine are separate, and they never have to butt heads. We now butt heads all day with opposing thought. And it's getting rarer. It's starting to go the other way again, because now we're getting boxed off online. You know they're told to do that. Facebook has taught their people to box off people. They create groups. They want you to do that. They make more money. It's not healthy. So the idea of having a philosophy that has secret stuff you're not allowed in, it kind of sets itself up for attack, especially from a totalitarian monotheistic religion. They're like, oh, really? We'll show you. So the more I study Yazidi, I see why they got picked on. I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying you can see they have opposing thought, right? And their God is definitely different. It's all different. And different is bad in monotheism. It's bad. It doesn't work. This is why I'm not a fan of monotheism. Yeah, they're an ethno-religious group. You have to be born in it. They speak Kumanji, some of them. They say they're the original Kurds. So the Kurdish people in those areas, a lot of them are Yazidi. I don't think they're the original Kurds. They say they are. I don't know. Some say they have their own ethnicity, which, again, I doubt. They're, they don't like using the word shaitan. They're kind of forbid to use it now. No one talks about it, as you can see why. The word Yazidi means divine being, and a lot of them say Ezidi with an E. They prefer that for some reason. Now, inside the religion and the ethno group, they have a caste system. They do. And here is their caste system. They have 3 hereditary castes. You have to be born into these. They have the sheiks at the top and the peers underneath, and both of those are religious orders. And then the murids are the regular people underneath. So the sheiks and the peers run the religious stuff, and I think they probably just make money, the sheiks, from just being. People probably just give them money. Because I saw in the ritual, you go into like a room, a small room, not much bigger than this, and they have the Melik Taus brass totem set up, and you go up and you give it a kiss. You put a little money in the basket, and the sheiks here, the musical guys are there. They're all in the room together. After they're done, the women are allowed in, of course. They don't let the women in first. How is that surprising for that area? Yeah, they have a caste system. Caste systems are weird. But, I mean, it's definitely part of a lot of things. Like, Hinduism's got the caste system too. Oh, there's a great movie. I should have put a link. It's on YouTube. Look up the film Following the Peacock. Dr. Spatz, she made a documentary maybe 10 years ago called Following the Peacock, where she actually goes and watches a parade of the peacock, the festival. And it's great because you literally get to see the inside scoop of what it looks like. I was blown away. I loved it. So there's an estimated between 200,000 and 1 million Yazidis on Earth. More probably like 500,000 is what I've gathered from my research. In 2014, the ISIS killed thousands of them. Thousands. They were just rounding them up and shooting them, and the women were taken into sex slavery. Sounds horrible, but that's what happened in the Old Testament to the Canaanites. Same thing. They just, you're not us. You have a different way of doing things. I am a monotheist. There's no room for you. That's what happened. It sucks. It's terrible. Okay. So let's talk about, oh wow, God, I have all this stuff on ancient Israel in here too. I was going to do a show on that this weekend, actually, because it's Passover, and I thought it would be kind of funny to do an entire episode that shows that Passover never happened, Exodus never happened, Moses wasn't real, and the Jewish people were actually polytheistic for a while, and where their God came from, where Elohim, I don't know if people know this, Elohim is plural. The word for God is plural. And there's a reason. I was going to do a show on that, and it was just too much for me right now. I'm doing the research on it now. It's a big subject, and there's not a lot on that either. It's called Yaoism. So you have Yahweh and you have Yaoism, which was pre-Judaism. And there was some other gods mixed in. The other god that they think maybe has similarities to Melektaus, the peacock, is Set. Set is an Egyptian god who also became a role model for the adversary, Satan, or Shaitan, or the devil. Yeah, this fascinates me. I want to meet a Yazidi one day. I'm dying to meet somebody that's from there, or at least has more ties to it. So I wanted to show you in Armenia, a rich dude from Russia, who I believe is a Yazidi, who his family, I guess, left a long time ago. He lives in Russia, and he's really wealthy. He paid for a temple in Armenia, a Yazidi temple, and I want to show it to you. It's beautiful. Look at this. Bam. Look at that. My God. So if you look at the roof, there are 6 small towers around and one big one in the middle. And that represents the 7 mysteries, the 7 angels, the big one representing Melektaus, the peacock. And look at what it looks like inside. My God, it's beautiful. It's very simple. I wish I got a picture of the ceiling. It's got a really beautiful ceiling. And I guess this is where you go up and pay your respects to the peacock. I love how simple it is. There's not a lot in there. It's more about the building itself. Hi, Melektaus. I love his image. So let's talk about this now. Let's think about this. Now I'm going to get into my thoughts. Oh, I wanted to read a couple things from this book quick. A couple little things I noticed right away. And dude, I just got this book recently. Literally, are you ready for this? This morning. It came in the mail this morning. And I was like, oh, and I read about a quarter of it already. I was really just like fiending on it. It says right away in the book that it is kind of a forgery. It doesn't hide that. But it says that it's accurate, which is kind of neat. It's an accurate forgery. I marked some stuff in here already. It actually mentions Anton LaVey in here. It says, is it polytheism or is it where God in some faiths has many names just like the devil too? Well, okay. It's monotheism, meaning there's one boss god. There's a name for that, and I always forget it. When there's a boss god and the lesser gods, that's what Christianity is. That's what all these religions are. The man who constructed the temple, I don't know his name. It's you can look it up. Look up Armenian Yazidi temple. It was a Russian gentleman that paid for it. So it's technically monotheism with a pantheon of lesser gods. This is what I wanted to read. Where did I mark the damn page? Oh, here we go. Yeah, well, here it goes into this book on the Gnostic stuff. I mean, finally, Meliktaus did not create the world. He is God's chief representative. In the same way, Set did not create the world, but represents the negative. And Meliktaus, as Set in the Yazidi worship, is by way of reconstituting that which was lost over time. He is thus on par with the Gnostic idea of the demiurge, who has created the world by lesser gods' assignment. Yeah, I mean, dude, this is right out of the Gnostic stuff. And then here, check this out. Yeah, here we go. Unlike Christians and Muslims who are believers, the Yazidi are knowers. They know rather than believe. Yazidi is oral, not literal. Yeah, it's not about like just believing in this thing. It's about knowing the knowledge of the story, of the real truth, which is what Gnosticism was. Gnosticism was like Jesus looked at the apostles in the Gnostic stories, in the Gospel of Judas, and he goes, these guys are all dumb. They don't know what they're doing. They're worshiping the God of the earth, and he is not the real God. Judas is like, wink, wink, I get it. There's something else going on. And Jesus says to Judas, oh, you get it? Oh, cool. Like, you know, there's an acknowledgement. That's what this is. It's very similar. It's about knowing, not just believing, right? Here's my thoughts. They got persecuted for being devil worshippers, okay? They got persecuted for being evil, demonic, not part of the team. I am a fan of the looking at things kind of like Occam's razor, which is the obvious is usually right. Sure, they're devil worshippers. Why not? I mean, okay, here's what I'm saying. If you look up most modern historians, religious theologians talking about Yazidi, they'll quickly say, oh, I can't believe they're persecuted for being devil worshippers, because they're not. They worship a god that represents goodness. Well, okay, I'm going to play devil's advocate. What does that mean? Because if you worship let's just say you are a devil worshiper, like I worship the Satan of the Bible as my God, and he hates Jesus, and he is the enemy of God, and he runs hell. I can't wait to burn in hell. That doesn't really exist unless you're a kook, okay? There's no such thing. Yes, there are some mentally ill people that would say that, but they're playing into the mythology of the devil actually being evil and torturous and painful, right? Most people don't do that. Whatever god they have, they look at it as the good guy, right? Even if he has negative characteristics. It's kind of like thinking in the same way of like our famous bad guys throughout history, like Hitler, because he's the first one that pops up, is evil. Like, I'm going to do bad, right? That's not how it is. These guys are all thinking they're doing the right thing, right? That's what they do. They're like, I'm going to do what's right. Does it involve things that we interpret as bad? Yes, it does. He killed lots of people that were innocent. But if you're in their head, it doesn't look like that, right? So from the Yazidis, yeah, it's this great thing that they grow up with, and it's a god of sorts. But to the outsiders, it's evil and it's the devil. Now, this is what I interpret it as. According to Islamic thought, Christian thought, and Jewish thought, we'll just say the Abraham thought, all the characteristics that make up the devil, rebellious, doesn't follow the rules, does what he wants, likes knowledge, likes not believing and being a skeptic. Those characteristics, being the adversary, the guy that asks questions when told not to, I deem those as good characteristics, actually. I do. I don't think they're dark and evil and negative. The monotheistic standpoint, looking at that, sees it as such. So therefore it is that. Why not just say it? Here's another way to look at it. Have you ever seen when gay people defend the Old Testament, saying that, no, God loves gay people. It's totally cool. Right? I've seen this. It's the apologetic. Okay, it clearly says in the Old Testament that God doesn't like gay people. It says it straight up. There's no hiding it. So why bother? There's an old saying, Bill Maher said this, and I'm not a fan of Bill Maher, but he said, if there's a turd in the pool, do you get in? I don't. So they are being called devil worshippers throughout the years. They fit the model. They have a different way of looking at things. They have a different creation story. The god of the earth is not the same one that they're worshiping. You can't join them. They don't want you. They're not trying to gain new members, right? Why? Because it has nothing to do with that. Those characteristics are satanic. They are the adversary. They're the opposite opinion, and therefore, it is what it is. That's how I see it. People that align themselves with left-hand thought own it. They're like, oh, the world thinks we're evil? Cool, we're evil. The people that are not of the left-hand path don't like to do that. And in their situation, the Yazidis, they are in a dangerous area for this to be happening, especially in modern times. I mean, in the old days, they got picked on too. But nowadays, with what happened with Islam, I mean, it got darker. Basically, the Wahhabis got really powerful, thanks to the Saudis and them cutting deals. And look up Wahhabi and how it got powerful. Wahhabi is the branch of Islam. So seeing it from that point of view, to me, I go, well, okay, I kind of get why they got picked on. They fit the bill. I mean, gosh, the name of their god, they even used the word shaitan for a while. He has similarities to Lucifer. He has similarities to the Gnostic stuff. By golly, it's the devil. Anton LaVey just put him in with the group. He culturally appropriated them with all the other deities that got lumped into the devil category. Set, Loki, Baal, Meliktaus. Who else am I missing? Asmodeus. I mean, I can go on. There's lots of these gods. They're gods from different cultures. And when monotheism shows up to the plate with a sword or a machine gun, there's no room. There is no room for extra thought. That's why I think it's hilarious watching people try to negotiate. Here's my way of looking at it. If you believe in an invisible unicorn that's purple, and this guy over here believes in an invisible unicorn that's green, how do they discuss these things together? How do you talk about it? How do you agree? Especially if you think that your invisible unicorn is the only one and the other guy's isn't real. Neither of them can prove it. Neither of them can talk about it. So at an early age, I realized where monotheism, where the flaws were, and it's just hard to groove. And they all came out of tribalistic societies, and now we're in each other's faces. So it doesn't groove the same. Let's look at some comments here, because Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention the peacock. The reason the peacock's interesting is people thought that peacocks don't decompose. They are immortal of sorts, which is kind of cool to think about. Peacock flesh doesn't rot. Ugh, it's kind of a weird concept. Um, that's why the peacock god means something. Ooh, an Egyptian mowcat? Is it one of those ones with no hair? We have a hairless cat in my house, and it is an amazing creature. It does not behave like a cat. It literally will jump on your shoulder and sit like a monkey. You know, it's got a very different personality. Yeah. So that's my opinion on the whole notion of it being devils. Because I know people would probably not like the fact that I put the word devil in there. But in the grand scheme of things, it is a devil of sorts. It is a opposing thought, a different way. And I think different is awesome. I don't think different thought is bad. I like different thoughts. I want to know about them. I want to hear them. I want to hear where they came from. I'm a determinist. I think everything's coming from somewhere. And yeah, it's just, I'm interested to see what this Yazidi movement does. Now that they're writing it down, like I can now read literally their creation story. I'm curious of where it's going to go because it got dispersed. It got kind of knocked out. It's like, and if you have to, the cat could make an appearance in the episode. Yes, that's possible. His name's Ming. If you look at my Instagram, every now and then I'll put pictures. I'm not the owner. My housemate, who I own this house with, owns it. And they have it upstairs. And so it's right. It's great. It's a cool cat. I think they're going to shrink. I don't think the religion's going to grow. I think it's going to die off or get absorbed. I think occultists might keep it alive. I think the occultists, like myself, will be the ones that keep it alive. I mean, guys, I've honestly been trying to find a peacock statue for my own meditation purposes. I really think I like buying statues of things that mean something to me, and I reflect upon them. Yeah, you've seen the pictures, William. It's an amazing animal. It's very hard to take a picture of the cat. He won't sit still. He's got a nocturnal personality. He goes from calm to super hyper, but he's extremely affectionate. Like he likes to snuggle like a dog. Yeah. I think the religion's going to shrink. Maybe they'll prosper in the regions like in Armenia. I don't know. But it's not a growing religion. But I do think a lot of occultists appreciate the meaning behind it, the story. I love the idea of this peacock god being the one that talks Adam into leaving the Garden of Eden. I think that's a great story. Just like the snake in the Old Testament. I mean, they don't ever say it's the devil. It could have been God, which is what I interpret it as. It was God testing them. But it's a bad test. If God is omniscient and omnipotent, he already knew what his creation was going to do. The story makes no sense. So therefore, his punishment of his creation is kind of lame. If you look at it from a Gnostic point of view, Saklos is the god of the earth, and he's the fool and doesn't get it. It makes sense. That's why when I found Gnosticism, I was like, wow, this gives the Old Testament a context in which it explains why the God of the Old Testament is such a jerk. He's a vain jerk. He's mean, nasty, wants people to sacrifice animals all the time in his name. God actually wants people to kill animals. He's like, yeah, it says God likes the smell of burning bulls. He likes the smell of burning animals. Really? The divine being likes that. Wow. Well, if it's Saklos, it makes sense. Or Yaldabaoth is the other word for him. If it's that god, that justifies it for me. It makes sense. That's why when I found the Gnostic story, I was like, wow. So, folks, that's my little ditty on Yazidi. And I hope that everybody here goes and watches the movie. What's the name of that movie? I already forgot it. It's a wonderful film. Just look up Yazidi. You're going to see a lot of stuff on YouTube. Not a lot, but some stuff. Walking with Yazidi, I think it's called, the film. Wait a second. Hold on. The lady that wrote the film, her name is not Al-Qaeda. Dr. Spat. S-P-A with an umlaut T. Following the Peacock. Check out that film. If you are new to this channel, please hit that like and subscribe button and the notify. Following the Peacock. And if you're the donating type, my gosh, my donations really do go right into this show. I'm using it to buy equipment and to keep this show moving. If you can't donate, that's great. I mean, I'm not begging for donations. I am begging for likes and follows on the channel because it is extremely hard to get to 1,000. I am just under it. I will get there sooner than later, but my algorithm changes when I get to 1,000 and I get super chat and monetized. So they've made it a little bit of a challenge of sorts, which I understand. They're weeding out people. And this channel has 3 live shows a week. And this almost became a Behind the Devil's Curtain episode. But I was like, you know what? It's just going to be a news hour. Behind the Devil's Curtain episodes are weeks of research usually. I'm working on some of those now. The name of the book, well, this book is called The Black Book of the Yezidis. I'll put it on the hand cam. This is The Black Book of the Yezidis. It is it's great. I'm glad I got it. I can't wait to finish it. It's not that long. A lot of the book, oh my gosh, my camera's glitching. A lot of the book has the actual Arabic in here from where some of the stuff came from. It's got a great index of source stuff. A killer intro. Here, I'll show it again. Yeah. John Lange. And they have another book called The Yazidi Revelation. It's another book of their actual legends written down. So there's only technically 2 holy texts. Yes, thank you, Libra Liz. Now, we're going to do a contest here. 616 is the magic number. If you write 6, I'll give you a one shot right now. Write 616 right now, and you're going to be in the contest. Tonight's contest is a Cardone coin and one of my old posters by the artist Stuart Palm. I wish I could get him to sign this, but I'll sign it if someone wants it signed. So what's going to happen is I'm going to roll a die. Oh, here we go. Sean Rush. Thank you. Oh, Pepe, Libra. I think some of you are in here. Hey, Fallon. Thanks for that donation. Really, Fallon's one of my biggest donors, and man, it really means a lot. Thank you, Fallon. Seriously. It goes. You guys are the ones helping me hook this studio up. So, grazie, Fallon. Yeah, I'm gonna roll the dice here in a second. Let's see. I think you all are already in here. Heads. I'm not flipping a coin. Alexander Ray is in the house. 616. So keep them coming in. Dude, I love studying theology. If I had, thank you, Corey. if I had another, I'm getting my dice ready. If I had another lifetime to go to school again formally, I would study philosophy, theology, double major type thing. Fallon, very cool that you brought Joe up. Yeah, okay. Uh, what were their names, Fallon? So a very dear friend of ours, my friend whose home burned down. Clearly somebody doesn't like them. I think that picture's still in here. Let me show a picture. And it's amazing that, wait, where is this? Hold on. Where is it? Oh, maybe it's not in here anymore. I had the photo that you took, Fallon, in here of Joe's house. Oh, here it is. Boom. There's the house of Netherworld after the fire. A dear friend of ours had, that's a beautiful, haunting photo. Fallon, great work there. You captured the sadness and the horror, but it's still a beautiful house. He had peacocks that roamed the property. And yeah, they made some crazy noises. I do miss him and that garden. Let's get this dice rolling here. Let me see. Okay. Let's roll this. I actually have too large of a die, so that means that I might have to roll it twice. I'm going to do the hand cam now. This is a new Boardgasm dice tray. Just finished. Gosh, that glitch is going to drive me nuts. Wow, it's really glitchy. Don't know why. Okay, here we go. Let's see who wins tonight, the poster. Bada bing. Nope, gotta roll again. This is going to be fun. Gotta roll again. Here we go. This is good. Nope. One more. No, I love it. Oh my gosh, this dice only rolls high. Hey, there we go. Ashworth. Ashworth, you just won a poster. Where are we here? Ashworth. So you need to go to my Instagram, Cardone Magic, and shoot me your address. I don't care where you live. Where do you live, Ashworth? If you live in the middle of I think you're in Australia, maybe. I'm going to be sending a poster to Australia. Wherever it is. Ashworth, you will win a coin, which I only have a few of these left. And the poster, I only have a handful of these left. I have some that I do sell at my shows once in a while, but not many. So, Ashworth, are you still in here? You got to acknowledge. If not, we're going to do it again. Are you in here, Ashworth? Let's see. Where is Ashworth? Maybe he bounced out. No, he's in here. You're in here, Ashworth. Boop, 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 boop. So come on in, Ashworth. Let us know. And you're going to go to Instagram. There you are. You're in here. You won. Yay. Thank you for supporting, Ashworth. My people that come in here all the time come in a lot. And it makes the show a better show. Because I'm starting to know everybody in here, and it's fun as heck. Now. Oh, you're in Texas. Awesome. Yeah, shoot me your address on Instagram, and this will go out on Monday. Helen, your stuff's on the way. Peter Benedetti's stuff's on the way. Who else won? Amanda won. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week, but we're going to have another prize. I want to get out of here. It's Friday. It's a party weekend. Traditionally, on Easter, I put on a bunny suit and run around. I do like, I like the Easter, but I love Easter aesthetic. I like the fake grass. I like eggs. I like bunnies. I like chocolate. I like all the imagery involved that has nothing to do with Abrahamic things. I like all of the pagan stuff, which is what it all is anyways. I also like the Rankin Bass Easter special with Vincent Price. And I love dressing up like the Easter Bunny because nobody expects to see him on Easter. They expect Santa on Christmas. If you're dressed up like Santa on Christmas, no one cares. I mean, little kids will be like, look, there's Santa. But when you're the Easter Bunny on Easter, it's got a cool vibe. So I plan on getting dressed up early and getting on my skateboard and going out a bit. And yeah, enjoy the weekend, folks. Spring's on the way. Easter's on the way. Walpurgisnacht's on the way for the people that like that holiday. And I got a great group here. You're all watching Evening Hour live. If you're new, subscribe, like, notify. And I'm here 3 days a week. This was episode 50. Thank you, everybody, from the bottom of my heart for helping me get this far. I'm not going to give up on this show ever. I'm having a blast. I love doing the research, and I like my crowd. I got a smart group in here, so thank you, everybody. I'll see you all on Monday. I'm going to take you out with my... Oh, my mom just says my bunny is scary. Thanks, Mom. Yeah. I'll see everybody around, and let me take you with my outro out, my end credits, and party on, Wayne. I'll see you.